G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. My name's Cody and today I will be bringing you my NRL Grand Final day tips and prediction and my review of the NRL Grand Final of 2023. This will be my final NRL tipping video of 2023 as well. What a journey this year has been. It's been a roller coaster year with ups and downs. The season was the closest as it has been since like 2018 or so, the closest season, especially the top 8. Oh, that was so close. But we are here for the one big event that we all look forward to, and that is the NRL Grand Final. The NRL Grand Final will be between the Penrith Panthers, who are looking to do a three-peat for the first time. The first team to do a three-peat since the Eels back in the 1980s. And on the other side of the coin, we have resurgence of the Brisbane Broncos, who fell out of the top 8 last year because they didn't win a single game in the last 4 or 5 games at all, and they fell from 4th place to 9th. But this year, they've made the Grand Final, finished in 2nd place, and this will be their first Grand Final since 2015. Now, for both of these teams, they both finished in 1st and 2nd respectively. This will also be the first time we've had a 1st versus 2nd Grand Final for 1st place versus 2nd place since the 2020 Grand Final, which was Penrith and Melbourne during that bad of a season that was called COVID, and I want to forget about that. Forget about what happened in those damn years, but we are here for our final NRL game of 2023. But before I get into my preview of those two of that game, I'm just going to go through the other 2 games quickly. The state championship, I'll just give you my tip who I think will win, and also the NRLW women's grand final as well. I don't know much about that side of it. Next year I'll look into more about it, but we'll get them out of the way first. But without further ado, let's get into the video. And the first game that's kicking off NRL Grand Final day, it is the NRL State Championship, or State Championship, whatever it is called. It is the New South Wales Cup Grand Final winners, my boys, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, where we won 22-18 against the Bears of CommBank last week, against the Brisbane Tigers, who only just won as well. Excuse me. Who won against the Burling Bears in the Queensland Cup Grand Final about 2 or so weeks ago. So Brisbane Tigers have had a week or 2 off, while the New South Wales Cup Grand Final between the Bears, the North Sydney Bears and the South Sydney Rabbitohs was last week. Rabbits only managed to just hold on, and Tyrell Munro scored in the last couple minutes to get that Grand Final win. Good on the Bunnies for at least some Rabbits' success was this year compared to, let's say, a 9th place finish. Whatever, we're back next year, but this will be an interesting matchup here. This will be the first time that the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the Brisbane Tigers have ever met, because obviously the New South Wales Cup and the Queensland Cup are separate. The only time these kind of clubs will meet is in the state championship, of course, and this game will kick off at 1:20 at Accor Stadium. My tip, obviously, I'm going to back the Bunnies, and I've also seen that I think this is the 8th or 9th state championship, and the New South Wales have won 5 of them. Unbelievable. So Rabbits to win, 1-12. Now we move on to the NRLW's Grand Final. It is the Newcastle Knights, who I believe won it last year, looking to go back-to-back against the Gold Coast Titans, who finished in 4th place. Not 4th place, sorry. 3rd place this year. 3rd or 4th place, whichever one it was. At least finally a Gold Coast team has made a Grand Final. No, I'm not making fun of the Gold Coast Titans. If they win, I'll be shocked. But at least some Gold Coast has had success now, other than the finals back in 1997 or whatever from the Gold Gold Coast Chargers. I think that was called in 1997. About time they've had some success. In all seriousness, good on the women. Good on the NRLW players and teams that they're such an exciting comp to watch as well. I don't watch that much of it, but I'm going to watch more of it next year, and I'll do tipping videos and etc. So this game will kick off at 3:55 or 4 o'clock, so right after the NRL State Championship Grand Final. Titans women's game, from what I've seen, they've won the last couple games in a row, and they managed to hold the Roosters scoreless, who finished in second, 12-0 at Allianz last week. And the Knights, they beat the Broncos, I believe, up in Newcastle last week. So good on them. Who wins this game? Oh, I'm gonna go for the Knights to go back to back. If the Knights NRLW side, if they won it last year, if they didn't, then my apologies, guys. I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch it. I don't know any research about it whatsoever. But I'll go to NRLW Knights to win, 1-12 by 6. Scoreline, let's go. I think it's going to be an enjoyable game, 24-18. And now we are on to the main event of NRL Grand Final Day. It is the Penrith Panthers looking to go for a three-peat against the Brisbane Broncos, who have not won a premiership since 2006. But I'll get into that in a sec. But it's been 17 long years since the Broncos have won a grand final. Now, these two this year, Penrith as always have been dominant, but they both finished with 18 wins and 6 losses. Only Panthers got first because obviously points differential, and they've been the better team than the Broncos. But my goodness, Broncos, after finishing 9th this year and only falling out of the top 8 towards the end of the season last year, that was unbearable. But what they've done this year, it's been excellent. They've been one of the best teams to watch this year. But good on them for making the grand final. They beat the Warriors, flogged them last week, 42-12 at Suncorp to make the grand final. And as for Penrith, they killed Melbourne. I believe the score was 38-4 or something similar to that. I wasn't too sure. But they flogged Melbourne last week at Accor Stadium. And this will be the Panthers' 4th grand final in a row they've made it. They've won the last 2, and they lost the grand final in 2020 as well. So before I decide who wins, I'll go through the team list, the history of both of the teams that they've made in their respective grand finals, and how many they've won. But without further ado, let's get into the stats, shall we? So I'll do the Penrith Panthers first. So this will be the Panthers' 7th ever NRL the 7th ever grand final. They have won 4 of them. In 1991, where they beat the Raiders 19 points to 12. 2003, they beat the Roosters 18 points to 6. 2021, they beat my boys 14 points to 12. And last year, they beat the Eels in a one-sided game. I think 28-18. 28-12, sorry, was the score, not 28-18. 28-12, my apologies. And they've lost 2 grand finals as well. 1990, they lost to the Raiders in 18 points to 14. So funny enough, 1990 and 91, both the Panthers and the Raiders made both of those grand finals. And the most recent one was 2020, where they lost to the Melbourne Storm, 26 points to 20. Penrith came back, but it wasn't enough to beat Melbourne. So Panthers currently hold about around a 66% winning record in grand finals. Now, and as for the Broncos, now we move on to the Brisbane Broncos and their grand finals success. So this will be the Broncos' 8th grand final. So they've been in 7 grand finals. They have won 6 and they have lost 1. The first grand final win was back in the 90s, or back to back I should say. The first one was in 1992, where they beat the St George Dragons 28 points to 8, and also in 1993 they played the Dragons once again, but this time it was 14 points to 6, so they went back to back in 1992 and 1993. The Broncos also won the 1997 Super League season in Australia, where they defeated the Sharks 28 points to 8. Sorry, my apologies. It was 26 points to 8 in that Super League season of 1997, where the two comps of the 20 teams also were split into two separate competitions. 1998, the first ever NRL season, the Broncos won that one. They defeated the Bulldogs, who finished in 9th place, winning 38 points to 12. They beat the Roosters in 2000 with a score margin of 14 points to 6. And then in their most recent premiership, which was in 2006, they defeated the Melbourne Storm 15 points to 8. And their most recent grand final was 2015, where they played the North Queensland Cowboys in the first ever Queensland Derby NRL Grand Final, where no Sydney team for the second time at that point had not made the Grand Final. The Broncos lost by 1 point in golden point from a Jonathan Thurston field goal, 17-16, arguably the best ever NRL Grand Final up there. So the Broncos have got a great record in grand finals. They've only lost one. They are looking to win their 7th premiership, and as for the Panthers, they are looking to win their 5th premiership. So now I'll go through the team list for both of the teams. So they're pretty much named the same squad for both teams. I'll go both at a time. I won't go for a separate team list. So your fullbacks are Dylan Edwards and Reece Walsh. The wingers from the Panthers are Silva Tuula and Brian Toto. Broncos wingers are Jesse Arthurs and Selvin Cobbo. Your centres from the Panthers are Isaac Tago and Katoni Staggs, Stephen Crichton and Herbie Farnworth. Panthers are Isaac Tago and Stephen Crichton and Katoni Staggs and Herbie Farnworth. From the Broncos, Herbie Farnworth had an injury scare earlier this week. I believe it was on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday earlier in the week when they were training up there in Brisbane. But he's given the all clear, so it'll be a matter of time if he will pull out. But I don't think he will pull out. I think he will play. Your halves for both teams: Jerome Luai 5'8" and Nathan Cleary for the Panthers. Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds, the captain for the Broncos, and Nathan Cleary, co-captain. So yeah, they're both your halves pairings. Your forwards, your props are from the Panthers: Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris. Mitch Kenny is the hooker. The Broncos props: Thomas Flegler and Payne Haas. The hooker for the Broncos is Billy Walters. Second rollers for the Panthers are Scott Sorensen and Liam Martin, and the Broncos are Kurt Capewell and Jordan Ricky. And your locks are Isaiah Yeo, co-captain as well with Panthers, and Patrick Carrigan from the Broncos. The Panthers bench is as following: is Jack Cogger, Lindsay Smith, Spencer Leniu and Luke Garner. And on the reserves, they have as 18th man replacement Tyrone Peachy, 19 is Matthew Heisenhuth, 20 is Zach Hosking, Luke Summerton, 21, and 22 is Tom Jenkins. And as for the Broncos reserves, your 18th player is Corey Oates, your 19th is Martin Tapau, 20th is Corey Jensen, number 21 is Jock Madden, and number 22 is Tristan Saylor. So there's both of your squads for the 2023 NRL Grand Final. There's a lot of key matchups here, such as the battle of the fullbacks, Dylan Edwards versus Reece Walsh. Centres, you got Stephen Crichton versus Herbie Farnworth and Isaac Tago and Katoni Staggs. Nathan Cleary versus Adam Reynolds. Old versus Young. Both arguably the two best halfbacks of this year as well. And also for your forwards, you got Leota versus Flegger, Fisher Harris versus Haas, Liam Martin versus Jordan Ricky, and Scott Sorensen versus Capewell. And for locks, you got Isaiah Yeo and Patrick Carrigan. This honestly feels like a State of Origin game, to be honest, because some of these players have played in State of Origin for the past couple of seasons. But, and also funny enough, for NRL Grand Final Day, it is Queensland versus New South Wales. So you got the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the Brisbane Tigers. You got the Newcastle Knights versus the Gold Coast Titans in the NRLW game, and then you got the Panthers versus Broncos. I think this is the first time we've actually had Queensland versus New South Wales in all 3 games since the state championship has come into 2014, and also the NRLW's comp as well, which was 2015 or 16 or 17, with one of them years or so. So, and also these Panthers and the Broncos have met in 3 finals games as well. This will be their 4th final ever together. But before we get into that, Panthers and Broncos have won 5 games apiece in their past 10 games. However, Panthers have won 5 of the past 6. Now, this year, these two met twice in a very downpour, rainy game against the between the Panthers and Broncos. Broncos got their first win at Bluebet Stadium for the first time since 2009, where they won 13 points to 12, the same score line that Sir Helens beat the Panthers, coincidentally, on a rainy night at Bluebet Stadium. And these two also met in May. Panthers won this one. This was up at some score, 15 points to 4. So it's 1 game apiece. Now, the first time these two met in the finals series before, the first time they met was 1990. Panthers won this one 26 points to 16. The next time these two met in the finals was a qualifying final between up in Sydney. It was Panthers who won this one on this occasion as well, 28-18 in 2003, and their most recent one was 2017, where this time the Broncos got the upper hand in the semi-final. The Broncos won 13 points to 6 in the semi-final, and they would go on to lose to the preliminary final. They'll go on to preliminary final the following week, and they lost. And so this will be their 4th time these two have ever clashed in an NRL finals game. So, with that out of the way, who wins the 2023 NRL Grand Final? It's going to be tough. I would go with Panthers, but I don't want them to go for a three-peat. I'm going for the upset. I am going the Brisbane Broncos to win this game. 1-12 scoreline. I'm going by 6, 18, not 18, 22-16. And my Clive Churchill medal, I'll go for one for both teams. If the Panthers get it, for Panthers, it's tough, but I'm going to give it to Liam Martin. He's had an outstanding year this year and during Origin period as well. And as for Queensland, this one's a lot more tougher. There's so many players he can give it to, but I'll have to give it to Reece Walsh. He's had an outstanding year this year ever since come back to Brisbane from the Warriors last year. He's been best fullback all year. Now, obviously, he was ineligible to win the Clive Churchill medal. I mean, the Dally M, sorry. As he was suspended. Suspended this year, so Callum Ponga got the Dally M, and I'm not going to bring that up. I think Dally M will be another time. But Reece Walsh to win the Clough Churchill Medal from Brisbane, Liam Martin from the Penrith Panthers. And there's many other players you can put in as well, like Dylan Edwards, Nathan Cleary, and even Isaiah Yeo. Or even Reynolds as well from the Broncos, and Patrick Carrigan. But I'm going Reece Walsh and Liam Martin for one of them two to win for their respective teams. Depends on which team wins. But you can get it from the losing side as well. It's only happened 2 or 3 times ever. But with that out of the way, good luck to all these teams on Sunday in the state championship, the NRLW Grand Final and the NRL Grand Final. Now, this is my final tipping video of 2023. It all ends on Sunday, and we look forward to the 2024 NRL season, which will kick off with the start of Vegas. I'm not sure if there'll be games before Vegas. Who knows? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude my final NRL tipping video of 2023, my preview and prediction for the 2023 NRL Grand Final, along with the State Championship in the NRLW Grand Final. Now, I know this video was a bit long than normal. I do apologise, and I do apologise for being late as well. Haven't had the chance to get this video done, but I wanted to wait till the team list was out so we could confirm if anyone was going to be out or any injury scares. But anyways, good luck. Once again, good luck to the Panthers and the Broncos on Sunday. Whoever wins, hopefully Panthers don't win, but if they do, congrats to them for doing a free beat the first time. That a team's done a free beat since the 1980s from the Eels, if the Panthers win. But anyways, thank you guys for all watching this video. This year has been amazing. Thank you all so much for 2023. I'll be doing like many other videos during the off season as well, such as the Pacific Championships, which are coming up in the next couple of weeks. Anyways, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you all in the off season. Good luck to both teams on Sunday. Anyways, see you all in the next video.